Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. Late night upload here because once again we have some news to talk about. And this time it comes from Fabrice Hawkins. Yesterday we had the banger from Santi for Turkey. Then it was Jacobs Ben for Marcus Rashford. And now it's Fabrice Hawkins for a name that we're a bit familiar with, which is Victor Osimhen, the Nigerian king, the Nigerian prince, whatever you would like to call him. And this is where the report says, Justin, PSG's management has contacted Victor Osimhen for a potential move, but the deal still remains very complex. So, the big thing, PSG have contacted probably Luis Campos. This didn't happen, though, last summer. We obviously contacted Osimhen. He even had a mutual agreement. I mean, he had an agreement for a contract to join PSG. All that had to happen was for Paris Saint Germain and Napoli to negotiate. And, they couldn't come to a middle point where both were happy. And I think towards the end, maybe Napoli, because they lowered their price tag. Obviously, he only went to low Galatasaray. But at that point, PSG didn't want Osimhen anymore. The deal faces hurdles, starting with Luis Enrique, who isn't certain to give the green light. Obviously, this is something we know of before. Luis Enrique never gave the green light for Osimhen last summer, and that was probably the main factor. He didn't join Paris Saint Germain. Then comes Osimhen's contract situation, as he still belongs to Napoli, while being on loan at Galatasaray. Negotiation would have to involve all three clubs. That is somewhat true, because the thing is, Napoli have like a recall clause. So if we in Napoli work really well and find a really good deal, Napoli would just recall him back, and Galatasaray won't, have to be part of the plans. Napoli is rumored to have set a 75 million release clause. That is true. But PSG prefers a loan with an option to buy. A loan with an option to buy? I mean, we could have tried doing that in the summer when he went to Galatasaray. I think now it's a bit too late to find that kind of a deal. PSG's pursuit of Osimhen also depends on Randal Kurmani, who has many interest from clubs in England, Germany, and Liga, including Monaco. I mean, this doesn't just go for Osimhen. He goes for potentially even Turkey or Rashford or any attacker that we want to sign. Like Kurmani has to leave. I mean, he doesn't really have to, but that has been PSG's main point this entire transfer window. And lastly, additional PSG is exploring options for a winger to compete with Bradley Barcola, reportedly taking place without his name being leaked. There we go. It'll be interesting who that winger is, but we have obviously known, I mean, not just now, but since the last summer transfer window began, that PSG have always been looking for a left winger. It'll be interesting who it is. It's not going to be Kvara, and it's not going to be Lukman. It's not going to be Nico. So it'll be very interesting who that left winger is. But going back to the Osimhen topic here, very interesting that we're back for him, because Luis Enrique has made it clear from all the reports I've read that he does not want to sign a striker. So it's 100% Luis Campos pushing for this deal. I mean, it said PSG want a loan with an option to buy. I definitely do not think Napoli will offer that. He's already at Galatasaray, I believe, with like a loan with an option to buy. So they're going to take him off Galatasaray. They're going to lose money to get him back. And then do that. Just doesn't make sense. Like, the only way we can get Osimhen is we pay up. We pay part of that callback clause from Galatasaray, and then we pay Napoli the full price, the 75 million release clause, basically. So it's very interesting that Campos is still pushing for Osimhen, even though Luis Enrique is very clear. He doesn't want an Osimhen. He doesn't want a Gyökeres. Doesn't want these strikers. And we talked about Rashford yesterday. Rashford is different. Why? Because it's Nasser pushing for him. What we've seen, especially now that Luis Enrique has extended and not Luis Campos, is that Luis Enrique is higher than Luis Campos. In the first summer transfer window, we saw Campos make some signings that maybe Luis Enrique didn't validate or was really interested. But because Campos has been there for a long time, that was Lucho's first summer, Campos had most power. Last summer was a bit different. I mean, I didn't really notice it after the transfer window ended, but Lucho had way more power. He had more of a say than in the first transfer window. But now in January, that Lucho has extended. He has more power. Campos still hasn't extended. So Lucho has more power. So I really can't see Victor Osimhen joining Paris Saint Germain if Luis Enrique does not give the green light, which I don't think he will do. which still puts me in a situation where I think Rashford is more likely to happen. First of all, he's going to be cheaper. And second of all, it's Nasser pushing for him, which is way different than if Luis Campos was pushing for him. But I think this is very big news because from everything I've read, I saw that Campos was always interested in Osimhen, but we would not go back for him because of Lucho. But once again, Campos trying to do his job. I mean, Osimhen is a great player. Osimhen would help us a lot. So Campos is doing his job. It's that my only question is, what? Like, Lucho has been clear he doesn't want Osimhen. He doesn't want this striker. So I don't know why Campos is still, fixated about getting Osimhen. I really don't understand that. And we can clearly see that there is a fraction in the relationship between the two men. Obviously, that was reported before as well. So, yeah, I don't see it that likely. I know that Osimhen would love to come to Paris Saint Germain. I know that if Campos had full authority, Osimhen would have been a PSG player a long time ago. His somewhat high wage isn't a problem for PSG either. So it'd be very interesting what will happen. Obviously, here's that report which I mentioned before. The relationship between Luis Enrique and Luis Campos has deteriorated in recent times. La la la. Campos not have notes since losing the contract extension. Yeah, because of that, he has more power. Luis Campos has lost a lot of influence, less weight compared to Luis Enrique. This marks a stark contrast. And I think if I can find that, no. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. As said, for this to happen, PSG should stop looking for this loan option. That doesn't make sense. It will not happen. And Luis Enrique will have to give the green light. But again, I've said it before. If Koulibaly leaves, Lucho would be way more open to getting Osimhen because he'd be like, you know what? He's not going to take a place of any of the other players. He's going to take Koulibaly's place. And then depending on how his performances are, I would play. But that's been it from your boy PSG. Let me know in the comments down below. How do you guys feel that we're back in for Victor Osimhen? And as usual, allez Paris.